Coming through. Hi there. I am doing finally a what I've watched video. I checked on my video uploads over the past couple of months, and I think it's been 2.5 months approximately since I made one of these, and that's not really because I forgot about it or because I put it off, but I wasn't really sure if I was going to do anymore, but I felt like talking about some movies. Yeah, so I haven't really done one of these in over 2 months, way over 2 months, so I have a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm just gonna, take out a bunch of titles here. I might have, watched more stuff than this that I've put away in these almost 3 months actually. So this might not be everything, but either way, it's a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna be able to talk about even a fraction of this. Well, maybe a fraction, but there's just a lot of stuff here, and I'll just kind of go through this and talk about a few things that I feel like I have stuff to say about. Anyway, let's get started. This one is very appropriate to talk about now. Mad Max trilogy. I had seen the first one before, have that on DVD, but the second and third I had never seen before. Rewatched the first one and then saw the other two for the first time. And the first one is a good solid, dystopian action flick, or yeah, kind of like action, exploitation obviously, that has been ripped off many a time after that. And I still like it. I am not a huge fan of it. I thought that I would like The Road Warrior a lot more, the second one, because I had heard that that is maybe the best one in the trilogy. And I was very much enjoying it for the first half or so maybe. Well, I was enjoying it all the way through. But after a while I just felt like, well, this is, the action is good, the visuals are great. For example, when Mel Gibson, this is not a spoiler, when he's, observing the oil refinery, maybe not refinery, but the way where they extract vocabulary issues here, but where they get the oil from in the middle of this big plain field, whatever, and the very wide perspective, you view everything from Max's viewpoint. Those scenes, they're quite epic. All the vehicles going down there, that sequence was absolutely great. So many good things about it, but overall I thought that it was kind of two-dimensional, a little bit. I would have expected it to be cheesy, but some of the cheesiness just kind of put me off. Overall, I liked it, but I wasn't a big fan of it, as big of a fan of it as I thought I would be. Yeah, third one is I was enjoying it. I had heard some negative things about it, but the first half or so was really enjoyable. It's even cheesier than the second one, and even borders on the, almost goes into the goofy territory or whatever. But I was enjoying it. But then it turned into some kind of fucking Peter Pan movie, and then I was just not very into it anymore. But it ended up with a pretty cool chase sequence, the obligatory chase sequence, obviously. So I ended up enjoying it. But they could have, it's called Beyond Thunderdome, and they could have just sticked with Thunderdome, not Beyond, none of that bullshit that went on in the desert and whatever. If you've seen it, you know what I mean by that. But anyways, it was fine, but not one that I will hurry to watch again. The first two I'm most definitely gonna check out again. By the way, I said that it's appropriate to talk about that now because the fourth one will come out in a month or so, I think, which I will see in the theater, try to see in the theater, and I'm looking forward to that. The trailers look absolutely amazing. Then we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the second sight steelbook. I actually have this on steelbook already, but it's a DVD steelbook, one of the very few steelbooks on DVD that I have. This is obviously a very good, solid horror movie, classic. I don't need to say that much about it. Because well, it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. but it's a really good one. I think one thing that I can appreciate a lot more this, I've seen it once before. One thing that I can appreciate this second time more is the ending. I didn't really get what they were trying to do with the ending, and I didn't really like how they ended it. But this time I really liked that. The whole scene on the road there is just so well made, so well directed. I just love that. This is a great release. It has, I think, 4 audio commentaries. I listened to one of them with Tobe Hooper, and I'm planning on listening to the one with the actors. Let's see, Marilyn Burns, Alan Danziger, and Paul A. Parton, and then art director Robert A. Burns. Obviously, it's known for its good art direction or production design, set decoration, whatever, you know. And that, on that note, it's pretty appropriate to switch to this one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the Arrow release, 3-disc edition with a very nice booklet that I haven't gotten the chance to check out, really, or gotten the chance to, I just haven't checked it out yet. But this movie I've seen before too, once, and it's interesting that it's directed by Tobe Hooper as well, about 13 years later or so, because it's so different, almost like a parody on the first one, or at least a tongue-in-cheek sequel. I like this for what it is. The first one is, they're different movies, but of course you gotta be able to compare the two, because this is the sequel by the same director. Anyway, it's not as good as the first one, even though it's different. But I like it. It is a little bit outdrawn, maybe. It's an hour, 1 hour 40 minutes, and I feel like they could have tightened some things up, maybe shortened it down by maybe 10 minutes or so. Would have maybe flowed a little bit better. But anyway, like I said, or as I was about to say, the set design, production design, whatever, is very, very good in this one. It kind of proposes a few questions like, how did these 3 people build that? And for example, where the fuck do they get all of the electricity from? And why do they feel like they need to have all of these lamps turned on in that hallway? That's a cool sequence. But you know, it's stupid to think about that, but I just kind of did. So there are a few things where I'm like, so how did that happen really? But anyway, a little bit rushed too. The ending is obviously also a bit of feels wrong to say homage because it's by the same director, but a little bit like that to the ending of the first one. But I felt that the ending of this, it's just kind of falls flat, and I don't like it as much as the first one, definitely not. It just doesn't work as well. But yeah, overall, a good movie. I do like the second one too, for different reasons. It's just, you know, really funny. Let's see, I have the third one somewhere here. I don't know, I can't find it. I knew that I had it here before. Ah, here it is. The third one, just a regular DVD. This was okay. I was expecting a little bit more. You know, it's nowhere near the level of the first two in some terms. The first one is grisly, but this one is nasty. This one is just nastier than the first two, if you ask me. You know, the first one may be more disturbing, more effective as a horror movie, but this one is just has some nasty scenes in it. Yeah, it's okay. It was a little bit dark. It takes place during the night, obviously, and as horror movies perhaps are supposed to. Although horror movies in daylight can be effective too if done right. But anyway, but I still felt that it was a little bit dark at times, and fell a little bit flat too. But an unenjoyable movie. I did like some scenes were definitely atmospheric, and the gore was good. Yeah, well, I didn't love it, but it was fine. It was enjoyable. Let's see. Well, this one is not supposed to be here. Oh yeah, I wanted to say a few words about this. Peter Kay's Phoenix Nights, the complete first and second series. This is one that I saw at the secondhand store several times. Never really knew what it was, but one day decided to look it up when I got home, and I was like, well, that looks pretty good. So the next time I returned to the secondhand store, thankfully it was still there. Well, it had been there for like weeks or months even, so not a big surprise that nobody had bought it. But then I picked it up, and this is, yeah, I didn't know who Peter Kay was, but now I have actually ordered some more stuff with Peter Kay, by Peter Kay, because I really enjoy this. It's got the first and second series, 6 episodes each, pretty standard for a UK show, UK sitcom. It's good stuff. It's really funny. Not the absolute best that I've seen, but it's original. It's definitely one to check out if you like British comedy. Somebody told me in the comments that when I showed it, somebody said in the comment that it was a good show, and so obviously it's known. It's not completely obscure, but I had never heard of it before. But yes, I agree. It is good. It's funny. Yeah, I liked it definitely. Let's see. Well, more comedy here. This time, American comedy, and it is season 9 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. An enjoyable show. I just love the fact that this will get 12 seasons at least. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna even continue after that. We'll see. But the 10th season will be released on DVD sometime this year, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I just always enjoy these this show. Anyway, yeah. Not as good as it was before. I've kind of said that the past couple of times that I've showed new seasons of this show, but it is still very much enjoyable. And even if it would go down the shitter someday, I'm still gonna pick it up. Still gonna pick up all of them, because it is just that funny. I think I love it. Then we got one that I thought was surprisingly bad. Adam Sandler movies. You can say what you want about them. I mean, they're just not that good these days. It's been a while since a really good Adam Sandler movie, I guess. I don't know. Is there really a really good Adam Sandler movie? Well, Punch Drunk Love is really good, but that's not a typical Adam Sandler movie. I used to love watching his movies back in the day. Now I don't know if I would like any of them that much anymore as I used to. Anyway, never mind. I didn't expect to dislike this one though as much as I did. It's blended with Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Mainly, I didn't expect to dislike it because it really hasn't gotten that bad reviews. People haven't praised it, but compared to Jack and Jill and Grown Ups 2, this hasn't really received that much shit, I guess, as far as I've heard, anyway. But to me, this is not, this is on the level of Jack and Jill and Grown Ups 2. It's just so boring. Nothing happens. The chemistry between Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler, so fucking bad. It just doesn't have anything to offer. I might be harsh, but I was just surprised how bad this was. Adam Sandler has actually said that, pretty much he said that they made this movie partly because that gave them the opportunity, or that gave them the that allowed them to go on vacation to Africa, because this is filmed in Africa. I don't know why he couldn't go there anyway. He seems to have the money for it, but it just feels like that shows. It's just so unbelievably bad. Nothing about. Anyway, I guess I could have been more constructive or whatever, but I just. Fuck it. I just didn't like it. It was fucking horrible. Halloween 5. Kind of liked some of it, but after a while it just gets ridiculous, and it's only the 5th one. There are, I guess there are movie series that have gone on forever, where the fifth one in the series still has some stuff to offer, but this one, they just keep on going with the series just because it feels like. I haven't seen this before. Most people have, I guess, but I liked the fourth one moderately. I enjoyed parts of it a lot, so I wanted to check out the fifth. But it was, no, it's just getting pathetic, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. We got a Louis. Oh, let's see. I saw a pronunciation video. I've had problems pronouncing his name. Oh yeah, Louis de Funès. Yeah, this is. I don't know what the English title is. I'll write it here. But this is a Louis de Funès movie, and this was really funny, very enjoyable. Just a very light-hearted comedy, slapstick, screwball, well, slapstick anyway, throughout the whole thing. He delivers as always, very funny. I think I have another Louis de Funès movie here. At least oh yeah, here it is. Well, this is a 4-pack, but the one that I watched is the one on the bottom here, called Oscar, which is just a farce. It's I don't think this is the original film adaptation of this story or whatever. I think there was maybe one before. Sorry about that, the battery ran out. The battery runs out so quickly with this camera. I just charged it, so I had to switch battery pack. But anyway, it was enjoyable. Oscar. What was I talking about? Well, anyway, it's a farce, like I said. It is. It just takes place in during one very crazy, hectic, ridiculously over the top, slapsticky afternoon in one very extravagantly architectured house. Well, the architecture is and furnishing is just ridiculous, and it takes place in this house of Louis. He's a rich guy, and it's just a farce. Have I talked about this movie? I think I did. In a vlog, didn't I? Oh well, I forgot about that. But it was great. Yeah, I did actually. Yeah. Okay, but still, it's a really good one. I really enjoyed it. Very, very fast paced and very enjoyable. Let's see. Let's continue with. Well, The Missing. I've had this for a while. Finally got around to watching it. Tommy Lee Jones, Cate Blanchett. Very enjoyable. You know, fairly dark western. Yeah, I don't have too much to say about it, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It's just a mess of stuff here. New Girl season 1. I'm not a fan of this. I have only seen like a third of this. I can't get into it. Just dislikable, annoying characters. Unoriginal. I don't really understand all the fuss about it. There are so many more better comedy shows. Now I haven't seen that many of the modern ones. Well, anyway, there are many I haven't seen, but I just think that you can. There are much better shows than this. Yeah, I didn't really like it. I couldn't get into it, so I don't know. More sitcoms. How I Met Your Mother season 9. This, I don't know. It takes place over one weekend, and that, to start with, that's a pretty brave thing to do. 24 episodes, a sitcom over only one weekend. I wasn't sure how they was gonna pull that off. They do a lot of flashbacks in the typical How I Met Your Mother way, so they're able to, you know, draw a few things out a little bit. But overall, I thought that it more or less worked. It was just a cool concept that I enjoyed watching, and I kind of, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if I ended up liking it less. So you know that's a good thing. But then the ending comes, and everything is just, you know, it's like the showrunners just said, "Fuck you," you know. Well, not really, but it kind of feels like that to me. They just kind of ruined everything. It's not that surprising what happens, but it is it's a bold move, but it was the wrong move. There is an alternative ending, which is not as shocking, which is just kind of just ends more realistically, but and that was better. The alternative ending, I'm trying to convince myself that that's how they ended up. But anyway, it's yeah, they did manage to fuck things up with the ending. But many people have mentioned that already, so I'm not saying anything new really. Dead Snow 2, very enjoyable, gorier and funnier than the first one. I don't know, I feel like the first one is superior in certain ways, in the way it was filmed, the visuals and the atmosphere, the cinematography is definitely better in the first one, and the first one is perhaps a more solid movie in a sense, but this one is just way more over the top, or more over the top anyway, and more enjoyable too, I would say, and I like this a little bit more than the first one. I don't think that it's drastically, or well, that it's a huge improvement from the first one, but I do see why people would say that, because for gorehounds and stuff, I think you will enjoy it, but it's not that much better, but it's a little bit better. Another sequel here, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, something. I don't know why I always forget that. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Yeah, I think so. 2. I really enjoyed it. I love the fact that the food comes to life. It's almost like a Jurassic Park situation they find themselves in, and the world they're in is really, it's just, I love what they've done with it. And then I kind of lost some interest in the ending. I didn't really care that much anymore, but it was enjoyable, for sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, we get a triple pack with Billy Connolly, 3 of his stand-up shows here. Actually 4. This has 2 of them. Billy Bites Your Bum Live and Handpicked by Billy from 82 and 83, I think. 81 and 82. And then it takes a big jump to 2002 with Live in Dublin, and then finally Live in London from 2010. I'm kind of partial to the first one. I think he gets a little bit ridiculous with... No, I don't mind bad language, but he just gets a little bit annoying to listen to at times. Dropping the F-bomb 5 times in every sentence, getting more and more vulgar, more and more angry, not as much finesse to his jokes. I just think his very calm attitude in the early 80s just works better. The way he delivers his jokes, it just feels... I like that more, and he gets a little bit... He's a little bit too much sometimes, I think, in the later stuff. But it was still funny. I really enjoyed it, and I am planning on picking up more of this. There are a couple more box sets, and I'll pick up one of them eventually, and then maybe the other one eventually. But anyway, yeah. Billy Connolly, I have become a fan of his for sure, and I'll just show this also. This will be the last one for this video. Billy Connolly, Journey to the Edge of the World. I saw Route 66 before I saw any of the stand-up, barely knowing who he was. Still enjoyed it, but when I watched this, I obviously, well, I had seen the stand-up, knowing more who he is. In a way, I could enjoy it more. He just goes... I thought that he went to the North Pole or the South Pole or something, but he doesn't. It's what's it called? The Arctic Circle? No, that's something else. I think Michael Palin did the Arctic Circle. Maybe not. The Northwest Passage. So basically, in the North Americas, on the top, he goes around that. Yeah. So no poles, but yeah, it was enjoyable. In a way, I mean, it's different from Route 66 because this is more about nature and culture, and Route 66 is more, well, it's a road trip. He stops in various relatively strange places on his way across America. So they have different things to offer, but I feel like maybe I liked Route 66 just a little bit more. Anyway, both are good, and I enjoyed this for sure. He's a very good presenter, and this is from 2010 or something, 9 maybe, and Route 66 is from around that time too. He has made other travel shows, kind of similar things, I think, but way earlier, like starting in the late 80s or something like that, where he goes to Dublin, Ireland, well, maybe Dublin, but Ireland, Scotland, the UK, or the England, and then I think Australia and maybe New Zealand too. At least Australia. Well, he goes to these places, and there's a box set with all of that collected in one box set, and I would love to get that eventually. Yeah, so I'm not done with Billy Connolly. I will get more of his stand-up and more of his travel shows. So yeah, still got a bunch of stuff here, but a lot of these things, honestly, I don't really have that much to say about. So I have some stuff left that I can save for a future what I watched video, but I kind of covered. Honestly, I covered more than I thought I would. I don't have a whole lot of stuff. Well, I have a lot of stuff left here, but not a whole lot of stuff that I feel like I need to talk about, to be honest. So we'll see when the next one comes. But yeah, that's that for this time. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.